So for this reason, inspired by the movie Goodfellas, I think Apple should change their slogan from think different to fuck you, pay me. And she and I used to get bored when it was slow, and we would write like funny things back and forth to each other on the pneumatic tubes. And then one day I got cute and I tried sending her a big bag of M&Ms. Of course, the tube exploded halfway above, showering customers for the hard candy show.
My line was I have to go to the bathroom. Very gazelle-like to my car. That was it. Done. So,
thought she'd never leave. Waiter.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.
You have the first of the gay banter. Yeah.
We were just talking, and I've said this a lot, about how the expressions people use,
Yeah.
like when you're about to do something, you hop.
Oh yeah, like so I'm gonna hop out of the shower.
Yeah. My dad slipped. My dad slipped to the store, slipped out to get some beer. He was a slipper.
Mm-hmm.
You're a grabber.
Yeah.
You grab stuff.
What are you?
I don't think I definitely, I'm a popper.
Yeah.
I pop.
Yeah.
I pop out of the shower. I pop into the store.
What was it you said about?
Pop into the restaurant.
What was it you said that you noticed about me?
Oh, that's a really crazy thing. And for those of you, who live with your significant other or are married, you'll notice you each have different things you do, even as alike as we are. There are things that are different. Like I like the door open, and the storm door shut, to let the sun in so I can see out if I'm home.
Yeah.
He always closes the door.
I'd be like, what is this? Dum. Yeah.
I come back to it, open it. I'm like, the sun's out.
Right.
The animals love to lay in the sun.
Right.
I lock the inside door sometimes, but
But then what else? Like there's more to it than me.
Oh, well, yeah. So I like to turn, if I'm doing housework, I like to have the TV on. Just even if I'm not paying 100% attention to it, a sporting event you can kind of listen to, as well as, if something interesting happens, you can kind of look up, but you can keep listening to it. Right. Or the ID channel, they're so damn repetitive, you can catch about a quarter of the show and get the gist. But I like to have a TV on, but he'll always come behind me and shut it off. And when we go to leave the house in the morning, or to go to bed at night, every freaking light in the house is on, and I'll turn them off. But he's not a light turner offer.
Not a light turner offer.
But he's a TV turner offer.
TV turner offer and a door closer. Very interesting. These things you learn about yourself. Well, to be fair, there are days that I leave the ID channel on for 6 hours. And then I'll be like, no one's been in that room for 3 hours, but I turn it off safely. We're not wondering who the murderer was anymore.
I'm famous for putting on a college football game, and then it's over and the next one will start, and I'll move on to the next room because I have cleaning ADHD. I'll start off in one room, and then I walk in another room and go, look at this mess. And I start cleaning that up. And then I go up to get paper towels. And then I notice something else. These dishes were never done. And then I start there. And then I go back to the first thing and think, what is this other mess? So eventually through each pass, it gets a little cleaner.
Right. And I've learned that if I ever had a home improvement show, it would be very similar to Stacy's cooking show, which would be, okay, we're going to attach this fitting here. Oh fuck, I don't have it. Let's run to the hardware store. And then when I get back from the hardware store, well, sorry, we're out of time. It would be one of those.
Or this is still the wrong fitting. Catch us next week.
Yeah, it's just all I do. I feel like some days instead of actually getting things fixed, I'm just shopping all day. Oops, I forgot to buy caulk. I forgot to buy this. I forgot to buy that. I'm terrible at that. So other big news, you'll notice that we have a new friend behind us. One of my relatives was mysteriously getting rid of a 43-inch flat screen and said something about they didn't think I would actually want it. And I said, are you kidding? I can use it on the show. But for some reason, this person seems to think that there's like some kind of a ghost in the machine.
It's already been a little possessed. Truth be told.
So anyway, it'll be part of the show from here on out. Just whatever we can do to make it just a little bit classier for you guys. We will be hitting you up for massive Patreon money for this, but anyway, even though it didn't cost us,
of cords it took to get it hooked up.
That's true. I think I spent $100 just on cables today. So anyway, anyway, so we're gonna call it the Snaggletooth. So welcome to the Snaggletooth. Anyway, so I don't know what the hell I did, but I got some kind of a virus on my phone, and it's very annoying. Across the top of the
How do you get
screen.
a virus on your phone?
I don't know. I don't watch porn on my phone. I watch that on all 3 of my other devices, and those are fine. But anyway, so it's all these alerts across the top of the screen that kind of look like this, and there's dozens of them. And if you pull it down and look at it, it's like, alert, we're about to lock your Facebook account. Alert, your private data may have been compromised. Alert, your homemade porn has been sent to the cloud. But I think I'm doing the worst thing about it is nothing, because I just don't care, because it's obviously not true. They're not locking anything. But so what's happening is the virus is panicking, and it keeps making it worse. It keeps coming with worse threats.
There's probably a little guy typing somewhere going, he's not paying attention. Up
Alert,
the ante.
94 tractor tires have been charged to your Amazon account. Alert, we're holding your cat for ransom. It's actually entertaining me now at this point. Anyway, if I hadn't clicked on that link, the Prince of Argentina would have been in jail still. So,
Oh God.
so I was also thinking,
Hmm.
I've never been like a huge Bob Seger fan.
A lot of his songs sounded really similar to me.
Yeah.
Like one time I was kind of humming along in the grocery store because it was on, and I found myself singing the lyrics I mashed 2 Bob Seger songs together.
It's not hard to do.
I was working for peanuts I thought were my friends.
Well, he wrote Rosalie, and then Lizzie redid it, and that's a great song. Anyway, not a huge Seger fan, but I've always thought, doesn't it strike you odd that he would choose Kathmandu as his city to escape to? Like, if you listen to the lyrics, I mean, again, I don't know how traveled the man was at the time, but he rules out the East Coast, he rules out the West Coast, then the Southern states, doesn't mention anywhere else. And I guess he's going right to the Himalayas as his, first international outing.
Well, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law is from Nepal,
Yeah.
and she went back when her grandmother was ailing and sent pictures. And you think it's just like a tourist picture, but they have these rickety bridges like in between mountain passes with some guy with like 22 bags on his back carried across, and that's behind her. But no, that's actually the way they get from place to place in a lot of those little towns.
When I first met her,
but Kathmandu is the bigger town.
When I first met her, I was going to say something about, so is it just like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom there or whatever? Or is it just like Raiders of the Lost Ark there? But I didn't, because I thought that she would think I was an asshole. And then the pictures she showed me are exactly like Indiana Jones. Like she said, rickety rope bridges, like the final scene in Temple of Doom. I mean, over huge ravines, just these crazy forests, and these seedy bars where I assume people are having drinking contests. Crazy. Kathmandu. But Seger couldn't wait to go there. Yeah.
Well, he apparently didn't want to be found.
I wonder how many hours he spent with his travel agent choosing the perfect getaway. She's probably like, I can take you to this place for $99.99. He was like,
It's like
sold.
something that's 3 syllables. What?
That's what it is.
Paris, no. Europe, no.
Yeah.
Guatemala, too many.
Right. Kind of along the same lines.
Mm.
I'm not a big Marvel fan either. I've never been a big superhero kind of guy. But I do remember this scene. My kids liked the Avengers flicks. And the big blue dude, Thanos.
Oh, yeah.
Guy, he's just about to kill Thor, kill Loki or something. I don't remember who he was about to kill. Somebody. And the guy's like pleading for his life. And just before he kills him, he says the best line. He goes, "Your optimism is misplaced, Asgardian." And that is such a great line. And I've been thinking about the place where I could use it for months. And I finally decided that Joanne Fabrics is where I should use that line, because the next time I'm at Joanne and I'm buying like a picture frame or adhesive tape or something like that, and the woman says, "Do you have a Joanne Fabrics rewards account?"
Or coupons.
I can say, "Your optimism is misplaced. Oh, aproned one." Really, you could use it for like family invites and root canal invitations too. I mean,
You
I think,
could.
yeah.
Yeah, or you could use it the other way, and the people at CVS could just say it to us when we go to try to pick something up or
Yeah.
check out. Or I broke the self checkout there.
Where?
CVS.
How did you break it?
I don't know. I was scanning something and then the whole thing froze up. I do know how to restart it now because someone came up and did that. But somehow they couldn't get my transaction to another register and apply my coupon. So then they had to call the manager, and I think I had to stand on my head and do several TikTok challenges before
I had it the
was
total
able
one.
to check
The
out.
total one today. I had the person that they had to give him the wine speech about the local vineyard.
Oh, no, it's what they call the winery direct.
Winery
It has
direct,
to be
right?
winery
She had
direct.
one bottle that wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was 20 minutes wasted.
Yeah.
And it was this little Asian lady, and her English wasn't that
Oh,
great. And
God.
they'd explain to her. And I'm like, what is it about me? I always get behind the person that has the winery direct problem. Always. Luckily, I wasn't in that much of a hurry.
I was saying, when you were buying the cables, they're like, we had to exchange one because we bought the wrong one. And the guy just kept saying to you, I don't have a radio.
I'm with you. So, right. You walk in and they have this perfectly hospitable looking desk with two well-dressed men standing behind it.
With no line.
Yeah, that's not for exchanges or for refunds. They're for like warranties or something. And there's a huge sign that says, "Oh, don't even think about talking to these two." So you got to go get into the cashier like you're buying something, right? Where it's a mob scene, right? Because of course this is Black Friday weekend. Anyway, so I go and I wait in line and I go to the next available guy. And I said, "I don't know what happened." I said, "I bought this cord and it looks like somebody broke it. It doesn't work. Something was wrong with it." And he goes, "Okay, I don't have a radio, but let's see what we can do." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I realized they need like a little CB to call the managers. And so he starts answering, "Dave, do you have a radio? Marge, do you have a radio?" And I'm just like standing there. I'm like, what are we going to do here? And finally he said, "What, you wait here." I'm like, I'll wait here. Great idea. Because I have nothing else to fucking do.
And you have no radio.
I don't work here either. So I'm pretty much limited to you wait here. So he was gone for like 10 minutes, came back, and he goes, "Someone's coming for you. Don't worry."
Oh,
and he
great.
goes, "Hey, everybody, I got a radio."
Is
and
it
there
the
was like
Grim Reaper?
little mini
maybe?
huzzah. No, somebody came and gave me the cable.
Someone
But it was
gave
just
him a
like,
radio.
I don't have a radio.
It's like Three Witches. They only have one radio for the 6 of them, and they have to go find where it went to see.
I was thinking about this the other day. So narcissism,
Yeah.
right? My ex, to say that my ex was a little narcissistic would be like saying Jeffrey Dahmer had creative recipe ideas. Okay. Just understatement of the year, right? Nothing was ever her fault. Do you know anyone like this? Nothing's ever her fault. Just give you an idea. One time I was on the phone with her as she was pulling up, and I actually watched her hit my car. She went to go park and boom, So I came out in a daze and I said, "You just hit my car?" And she said, "Well, don't you think you were sticking out kind of far?" That's what I had to fucking deal with. Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't have to deal with the whole cold beer fight.
That's weird. Yeah, talk about that. That's
My
weird.
ex-boyfriend had
Speaking of
this
which,
thing.
I want to go get one while you talk about it.
It was, he liked cold beer. And if I ever bought warm beer, he would like flip the fuck out. Like, why would anybody in this world buy warm beer? Well, maybe the kind of beer that I wanted for later on was warm, because they don't have a whole lot of stuff in the cold case at the one store we shop at. But if I went there, I would always make sure, even if I did buy, God forbid, beer warm for another day, I would pick up a 6-pack of cold because I knew he was going to ask me about it. And it didn't seem to matter because he would say, "Did you buy it cold?" And I would say, "Yes, I bought it cold." And he would take one swig of it and go, "Are you sure you bought this cold?" I don't know. I walked up to the refrigerator section. I opened the refrigerator. I took it out. But it was never good enough. He always questioned the coldness of the beer. It was like worse than the Budweiser Born on date.
33 degrees. Very good. So back to music stuff.
Music stuff. Good idea.
So one of my favorite bands from the 80s is The Cult. And the album Electric, because it's so stripped down and AC/DC like, and I used to torture my college roommate with it. But of all their albums, it's got the weirdest song titles. Like one song is called Aphrodisiac Jacket. And every time I hear it, I always wondered, was this item available at Sharper Image? And nobody told me, because I could have used it in high school. I could have used it. And then there's another one called Love Removal Machine. And it's taken me a while, but I think that song was about my first car, the old Plymouth Valiant, the green clunker that my grandfather gave me. Because like I'd pull up in front of the girl's house and my date would just come out and she would just go, no, that would be it. So it was a love removal machine.
Was there a song for my black Mustang with the black leather seats?
What did I used to say? Did you smell like?
I had a 78 Mustang in 88.
She was so hot. Oh God.
Yeah, literally I was hot because it was black with no air conditioning with black vinyl seats. You had to bring a dish towel to sit or you would burn the skin off the back of your legs in this car. And it was so hot in this car. When I got out, you always said that I smelled freshly ironed because my clothes were so hot.
You smell like
I was hot.
iron. Yeah.
Hot, literally.
And I wonder about that. Like because we see these people and they have this car and it's black with black tinted windows. And I just wonder, and black interior.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a sign.
Air conditioning. They probably got the air conditioning.
But when you
cranked up.
first get in it, can you imagine what that must be
Also,
like?
maybe the tinted windows act like a shade and they keep the
I don't
sun
know.
out.
Come at me in the comments. Okay, let's talk about our feature interview this week. Anton and Hans from the Austrian metal band Venator. We featured him back as kind of an up-and-comer in Deaf Ears season 1, but their debut full-length Echoes from the Gutter is just such a peach. I can't stop listening to it. And I mean, for a band that's only been together since 2016, they got a handful of singles and some EPs. To come out with such a strong debut, it's really amazing.
Yeah, their first EP was a split with Angel Blade.
Yeah.
So you kind of get both, two in one. But I really, really am liking their new Echoes from the Gutter.
It's great.
Down to their crazy dude with their
mascot. Yeah.
Laser eyes.
That we talk about intensely. Yes. The riffs are crisp and perfect. The twin leads are right out of vintage 70s Priest. Hans has that special vocal tone that only comes from European metal lineage, So if you're like into traditional metal or like Germanic stuff like Gravedigger, Angel Dust,
okay,
early Halloween, it's a real treat with Venator. It's a great band, right? Remember the guy from the band starts with a Z. We did the pump rock thing. Zeno.
Oh.
Remember he had that like croony voice.
Yes.
But he had that Austrian vibe about him,
Yes.
It was like, I'm the Austrian, I'm Jovi. I love that. There's something about German and Austrian singers. It adds just these hues to the vocals. I just love it.
I like his, I'll just be going along and then there's this just really placed like, yeah.
Oh, the scream.
Oh, yeah.
All right. On that note, let's play a song. This song is all about the scream. The Seventh Seal.
I love this song.
It's great. Let's play it. Focus on Patreon, as you can see. I added Mark's tattoos sneak peek where I take it off and show off all my ink.
Also, I'm going to be giving you my home kitchen secrets that only I have discovered. The latest one was my hash browns on the highway to hell. This is my own take on what works and what doesn't, how to make the perfect ones. You're not going to want to miss this. So get over to Patreon.
No, stop it.
Get over to Patreon /Snaggletooth Podcast. Become one of our minions. We're continuing to add exclusive content for you guys to enjoy. If you want to get a little more content, also get over to Instagram and Facebook. You can get Mark's music reviews there for $0. We don't even charge for those. So give us a like, give us a follow. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss an episode.
My reviews are like a broken GPS machine. I might take you through some seedy neighborhoods.
Oh, we've had this one.
Yeah, but we had it on the other show. I might take you through some seedy neighborhoods where you want to roll up your windows. I might repeat myself. We might take a long roundabout route, but we'll get there. Anyway, it's Thanksgiving. We just had Thanksgiving. We're a little late on it actually, but I was thinking about really bad pickup lines that are
God.
Thanksgiving themed. So I came up with a few. So let's see what you think. Okay. All right. Start with this one. Hey, you ever watch the Macy's parade from a sex swing?
Oh my God.
Can I buy you a drink? Want to guess the size of my drumstick?
As long as you don't tell me I look like a can of Pillsbury dough rolls that have popped open.
Oh, that's not good. But I know people that do. Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Ready? Hey, I was looking at you from over there, and you got a great pair of yams on you. And then my favorite, the best one. The best bad Thanksgiving pickup line is, hey, how about we take a pilgrimage back to my apartment? Wah, wah, wah.
I always thought of the George Carlin. I think he always says nobody gets laid on Thanksgiving because all the coats are on the bed. But you could sell it the other way. You know?
How?
Hey, we can hide back there and all the coats in the bed. No one will know where we're at. And if someone walks in, we'll just throw coats over it. No.
Okay. So it's Seussical time.
Where's your hat?
And I am going to get my hat. And Ozfest this year was virtual.
Which is weird. Why are we still doing virtual stuff, guys?
Yeah. So I thought I would kind of give a little commentary on my thoughts on this year's virtual Ozfest. So it is time for a Seussical. We fans love big rock shows, you see, ever since Chuck Berry counted 1, 2, 3. But overblown concerts, despite all the flash, aren't always the passports to oceans of cash. Live Aid's Zeppelin reunion was a crock of shit. Really? Phil Collins behind the kit? The Cruise fans can't hold back their cheer, even though the band's final tour is every 4 years. The Misfits reunion wasn't very punk rocking, considering Danzig's cell phone locking, and no true amount of Damage Control could help Maroon 5 at the Super Bowl. But as painful as these events proved to bear, at least the musicians were actually there. Yes, my friends, it's time we addressed the 2022 Metaverse Ozfest. How could anybody with half a brain watch avatars rocking to videos from Mustaine? Watching hologram footage, it's hard to deny. Lemmy's character just looks like bad CGI. Ozzy's metaverse journey is just another flop. Can someone please get this man to stop? Here we go. Okay. Oh, it felt really good getting that off my chest.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That is lamer than lame.
Why would you want to watch a bizarre avatar of something you picked? It's not even really you. Like you're whale. And you're like, there I am. I'm that big whale. Unless you are that big whale. I don't know. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it's sort of like, it's become almost like Lilith Fair or something, where you hear it and you go, oh, Ozfest, they still have that? Not really. Not really. No. So, it's kind of gone the way of the make it stop type of thing. I was thinking about things that we went through for the show after, with all the cables and everything this week. Remember how much trouble we had setting up Apple Podcasts?
Oh, God. It was like, you had to give your firstborn's pint of blood and
double authorizations, triple authorizations,
half a robin's
chatting
egg
with someone in India for hours, troubleshooting, filling out form after form. And then finally, someone at Apple Chat suggested I just put in a credit card. I wasn't paying for anything, but just put it in. And that parted the velvet ropes. But that was after we had to stand on our heads, pat our head while rubbing our tummy, and perform several TikTok challenges, like you always say,
Mm.
So for this reason, inspired by the movie Goodfellas, I think Apple should change their slogan from think different to fuck you, pay me. Or Apple, the power to possibly charge you whenever we need to. This was interesting.
Yeah. Have you ever accidentally done a subscription service
Oh, wow. No.
from Apple? It takes about 900 steps to get out of it. Many years ago, I was on Match.com, which, by the way, don't even bother. I thought if I went with the paid subscription, it would give you better people than
Give you this
free, like
the
plenty
illusion of
fish.
quality. Right. Exactly.
No, it was no. I can't even tell you the amount of losers I met on this website. I would leave at some point during the first or second date. My line was I have to go to the bathroom. Very gazelle-like to my car. That was it. Done.
Yeah.
So,
Thought she'd never leave. Waiter. Sorry. Good.
then I got some message that because I had done it through Apple, that they auto renewed it. So I called them up. I was like, no. I don't want another Match.com subscription. But they couldn't just cancel it. I had to log on to iTunes and find some secret button and a secret lair and get in a boat and give the guy a quarter and dodge the bat. It was horrible. It was really horrible.
You said you had to unintentionally
Download Bono songs to get out of it. It was
sorry, we're running a YouTube promotion. Everyone has to do it. I'm sorry.
I don't understand how this is related. They did not want to cancel that subscription. Really difficult.
So I went to the post office the other day, and the place was mobbed, of
Mhm.
course, because we're getting to that time of year. So we're all standing in line. Finally, this burly lady, who I can only assume she was a supervisor because her double knit pants were so tight, right? She comes up to the second register, and we're all like, yes.
Ever wonder how those buttons are holding on for dear life?
Yeah, exactly. She says, I can help anyone who doesn't need stamps or isn't mailing a package. So we just all sit there like, what's happening? Look at each other. So I guess if we were feeling lonely and we wanted someone to have a pleasant chat with, she could have helped with that.
Maybe she only rents P.O. boxes. I don't know.
Because that was the line. We all wanted P.O. boxes. Yeah, that's what you want this time of year,
Maybe she would sell you a box, but she couldn't sell you the stamps to mail the box. We could just sell you the box. Then you have to get the other line.
Do you ever think that when you're at Walmart's, they have the cameras and you see yourself in the camera and you immediately think, God, I look like shit. Scan. Do you think that there are men in booths and security guard uniforms that are just laughing at you, making comments?
Well, I worked for a department store, which is now defunct Hex, for years. At the Saturday morning meeting, if you opened, and we got there early, of course, for any customers, we stood around and watched Fun with Catching Dumb Shoplifters, and they would just play the greatest hits from the week before. So
Yeah, I picture security guards going, I don't think a hairbrush will be enough for you, lady. Or another one's like, flip it over to scan it, idiot. Are we working today? Boy, someone got dressed up to go out. Are they velour sweatpants?
Is that leopard and cheetah print together?
Wow.
Scandalous.
3 packs of Oreos and 4 bags of Doritos. Oh, but look, she went with the 6-pack of Diet Coke. So everything's okay. Exactly. Yeah. I think it's happening.
So maybe at Walmart, when they open, instead of watching the catching shoplifters videos, they watch the dumbest people at self-checkout videos. Could happen.
Well, then there's you always have a serial killer bent on these things, don't you?
Oh God. I have watched, of course, like you heard, I watch ID channel, sometimes in the background, sometimes in the foreground, but the dumb bunny murderers. Okay. If you're going to kill somebody and buy a suitcase to hide the body in, please do not buy a new one at Walmart at 3 a.m., pose for the camera, and use a credit card. It's like Murder 101. You got to use an old suitcase from your grandma that she doesn't know is missing, and don't Google the exact method you mean to try to eliminate your spouse with. I saw one like that. I can't tell you the amount of times they've checked the computer and it's like, how to use chloroform in a deadly manner.
I always buy the rope and the duct tape at different stores because I'm slick.
Yeah, and also don't have your cell phone on you if you're planning to go all murdery. Don't do it. They can track that.
Speaking of that, I worked at Home Depot in the late '90s, a second job for a while, and it was okay. I was a cashier, and my favorite part of the job was they had those pneumatic tubes that would go front to back of the store,
Yeah.
like
I got the bag.
right. So that's how you put your money from your register in there, and then whoosh to the back office, right? Well, I got friendly with this girl that worked in the back office, and she and I used to get bored when it was slow, and we would write like funny things back and forth to each other on the pneumatic tubes. And then one day I got cute, and I tried sending her a big bag of M&Ms. Of course, the tube exploded halfway above, boom, showering customers for the hard candy shower. Let me tell you, like they melt. Might not melt in your hand, but in an overheated pneumatic tube, yes, they fucking melt.
Oh my
For show,
God.
yes. Yeah.
That's
Pneumatic
horrible.
tubes. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, they had one at our bank for a long time. And if you did the drive-through, and I used to have this stupid beagle, and she learned really quickly that when I went through the drive-through with her in the car, that they would send back like a dog biscuit. And the one time we went, it was somebody. Yeah, dog biscuit.
I've heard of lollipops, but never that.
They also send dog biscuits if they
Okay.
see a dog in the car. But this was like a new person, and maybe she didn't get the memo on the dog biscuits, but she didn't send it back. And my dog knew that swoosh meant I was getting a treat, and she continued to go nuts. She was barking. She peed on the back seat. I was like, oh,
Yeah, that was a bad dog.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, yeah, she was really horrible. We adopted her from a shelter, and believe me, this dog had issues. I remember the lady saying to me, "Is this your first dog? Oh, you don't want to adopt a beagle." And that made me mad. I'm like, "Do you want to adopt this dog or not?" I shouldn't have adopted this beagle. It was so bad. She was so embarrassing. I would have her on a leash, at one of my children's football games, and where they sell the snacks. That quick, she would jump on a kid, steal his hot dog, eat it in 2 bites. And this kid's just looking at me.
Wow.
I'm like, here's $10. Go buy like 5 more. I just horrible. She had such horrible separation anxiety. The only redeeming feature is she would actually run behind me when I went for a jog without a leash. And I used to run on this path around a park, and it was a paved path. And people would say to me, there's a dog chasing you. Like, I couldn't hear her panting and her claws along the path. I was like, yeah, she's mine. It was horrible. Horrible, horrible. My parents babysat her one time. She ate their mini blinds. It was like having an unruly child.
What about the cat that went under your front seat? I love that story.
I had a cat that would hide if I got out the cat carrier, because that cat knew cat carrier equals vet. So the next day I couldn't find the cat. So I thought, that's fine. I can outsmart the cat. So I started taking the carrier out the night before, and then getting the cat in a pillowcase and running it out to the car. So I thought I was all slick, finally got this cat, in its pillowcase out into the van, and started to drive to the vet. Because usually once we got to the vet, the cat was like, you know what? Carrier looks like a good idea right now.
Right.
But this cat got out of the pillowcase and climbed under the passenger seat. Like, it was a van, a minivan. It was big bucket seats. So when I stopped and opened the sliding door and went to get the cat out, I couldn't get the cat to budge, because not only was it under the passenger seat, but it had dug every nail it had into the carpet. I didn't want to hurt the cat, but I'm trying to pull it, and I can't get a good grip on it because it's under the seat. So I went into the vet and I said, "Can you please help me with this cat? I mean, maybe some Xanax, I don't know, a shot, and so I can bring it in." And they said no, that it was up to me to get the cat in. After that, they would do what they needed to do. So we didn't live too far from there. So I thought about it, and I drove home. Pulled up in front of the house. That son of a bitch cat knew it was home and started to make a dart for the door. I grabbed the cat by the scruff of the neck and drove back to the vet with the cat in my lap holding its scruff, so that I victoriously Enter the Vet.
Ah.
Cat scruffed. I was so proud of myself. Fuck, I just outwitted a cat.
That's right. All right, so let's play some Venator. I love this one.
Oh, I
I'll let
do
her
too.
introduce it. Go ahead, you introduce it.
This is a great song off their latest. This is Venator with Manic Man.
Let me just say also that
Mhm.
just want to say thanks to Disney for putting out another Enchanted movie. My daughter has watched it so many times. I feel like I'm bleeding internally. Oh, that sound. Okay, so it's time for electrobation. Let's start off with this one. Um, this band is called the Joneses. Not to be confused with the Joneses from Boston, who are also very good. Okay. So these guys were kind of like fixtures on the Sunset Strip in the golden 80s. They sort of like walked the line between like sleazy hard rock and punk rock.
Uh-huh.
Just to get an idea, like the drummer Paul Morris, he was in LA Guns. The bass player Scott Franklin was in the Cramps, and the guitarist Johnny Sage was in Christian Death. So you got a really wide range of like kind of sleaze and anarchy with.
I like this song.
Yeah, if you're into stuff like Crash Diet or like Early Fist or Pussycat, and shit, I bet Jens Kemgren loves this record. And here it is, Tits and Champagne. Is that close enough for you? You know that picture? Tell us the history of that picture.
This is actually a picture of Jane Mansfield. She's the blonde with a lot of cleavage.
Mhm.
And this is Sophia Loren, kind of casting a sneak
What
peek
an awesome picture.
at her cleavage. Now, this was actually a dinner that was kind of to welcome Sophia Loren to the film house.
Yeah.
So they sat her right next
And the
to
picture
James
went
Mansfield.
like viral, right? Like
As viral as it could back then.
in the
It was
50s.
everywhere.
In the 50s, was it?
Yeah.
So anyway,
It was-
so let's play. This is for you, Jens. We're gonna play Tits and Champagne. Okay, time for another weird fucking record. Let's get it.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't wait.
So I have everything from this band, Human Eye. Okay. Garage space punk from Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. The mainstay of the band is a guitar weirdo named Timmy Laminen. And this is amazing stuff. I mean, think Hawkwind, think Para Ubu, think about a man singing and playing guitar with dryer vents attached to him. As chaotic as this sounds, I always imagine Timmy spending hours putting, what if we put this distortion pedal ahead of this one? What if we put this phaser in front of this one? Playing weird guitars shaped like tea kettles, all of the above. Anyway, the song we're going to play from this beautiful colored vinyl beauty is Salamander Soft Shoes.
Ooh.
Okay, the final weird band today is San Francisco hardcore outfit Deadfall. These guys always reminded me of all the alphabet punk bands from the 80s, DRI, AOD, JFA, etc. The album I'm going to show you is called Keep Telling Yourself It's Okay. It's a 7-inch that came out in 2006. The bass player, Andrei Bauzakov, is an amazing artist. If you look at the detail on this 7-inch, look at some of the inserts and the inlay, you just know it's going to kick ass. It's going to sound like some Negative Approach album or something. I'll give it a second so that I can show you the beautiful blue of this vinyl. Anyway, let's play a song. It's from this 2006 EP, Keep Telling Yourself It's Okay. This is Counting.
All right, so let's get down to it. This is our interview with Venator. This should be Anton and Hans. Hans is not only the vocalist, he is also the wonderful artist behind their album covers. So we'll have to ask him all about that. But they are, it's almost like they were cryogenically sealed and then from 1983, and then someone, did like a
They could have been on Megaforce in like 83. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. But I love their sound. They do throw in at times a little more, it's almost speed metal. So they've got a really neat sound. You'll love them. You'll love this interview. So let's get to it.
Let's do the shirt inventory first. We got Witch Cross, and is that a Ajag Pans are very good. Very good. Yeah.
Well, we've so been enjoying your guys' music. You're right up our alley for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So you got together 2022?
Actually, it was 2017 or
Okay.
something. And yeah, the band just like built up with times. And in 2019, we played our first gig, and then where things got really started.
Were you guys in other bands and you met through other bands, or how did you guys come together initially?
And I met Leon, the lead guitarist, at a local pub.
Okay.
Yeah, at the same pub we met our drummer and our bassist later, and I met him at we have to do civil service in Austria when we get 18, and that's I met him, and he's the singer and the guitarist. And yeah, that's
a very civilized story. I think you should come up with something like I hit him with my car, or what else? You know, he knocked me out in the pit at an Exodus show or something like that. I mean, you know, like as the years go on, you might want to come up with something more rock and roll.
those things followed when we've been together.
I see The Sentenced of Death behind you. One of my favorite records. God, all those bullet belts. One of the most over-the-top album covers ever. I love it. Yeah.
Although we found out from interviewing bands, apparently do not wear a bullet belt in Mexico.
Oh, don't go through customs with it. Yeah.
Yeah. He got arrested for having a bullet belt.
Yeah. They said this caliber is not allowed in our country, and they didn't understand it's not for shooting. Yeah, so just when Venator has its South American tour, you're going to have to change your wardrobe, I guess, a little bit. Yeah.
So you guys recently did the open air festival in Denmark. How was that?
Pretty sick experience, I guess. It was like a fever dream. It was really. It went on so quick, and it was pretty. Very beautiful location. It was like a garden, a backyard of a old farmhouse, but still pretty novel looking. It was really beautiful, and you had a great view to the sea. And yeah, we didn't sleep. We didn't sleep at all. In the first day, we took the flight on like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we were just gonna go to Vienna, drinking all night long, get the flight at 6 o'clock, and get to Denmark. And when they picked us up from the airport, the first thing we got was beer, and it just continued like that till Saturday when we played. Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
It never stopped. Like Saturday, I had one of the worst hangovers before playing in a concert, and yeah. You still got to do it.
It's funny.
Show must go on.
Yeah. Well, I used to work for a Danish company, and it was right over the German border there. And I just learned that Danish food I'm not a fan. So I would, as part of my ritual, whenever I went there, I knew where the last McDonald's in Germany was before I crossed the border, and I would pig out. I would have a knapsack full of granola bars. So basically, it sounds like if you were just drinking the whole time you were in Denmark, you probably made the right food choice, because it's not the food is not good there. No. Yeah.
I mean, it's like in most Nordic lands, it's just sausages everywhere. I mean, like hot dogs from fuel stations.
Oh yeah, exactly right.
But at the festival, they had pretty good food. They had very good burgers and all that. But it was too expensive. We just got like two food tickets or something, so we didn't eat that much either.
No.
So, no.
They didn't feed you there? They didn't feed you?
Yes, we got something in the fridge, and yeah,
some fish
Yeah,
and
left some things in the fridge, but we didn't know if we could just take it or something.
yeah, it was
Okay.
like in the last day we didn't ask and we didn't really care, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. You get to that point where you've had enough beer that you just don't care about food anymore. I've been there many times. Yeah. So.
Just eat some cake.
And you guys also recently played a cruise ship. How was that? Did you feel it moving or?
It hadn't moved as soon as we not when we played, but that was actually the cool part, because when we finished, the boat started driving, so we had a cool experience outside then, and a lot of people have been outside, and it was like, yeah, this party immediately after the gig, but it was pretty cool. I mean, the whole cruise thing was amazing.
That
it was
sound cool. Yeah.
very old Danube ship, and
Wow.
it was full. It was completely
Yeah, it was
full
sold
house.
out, but pretty nice guys. Nino from Ewig Frost, who organized it, we know him, and yeah, it was pretty sick, the whole experience.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's ever been bands that couldn't do a cruise because one of them is deathly seasick. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder what would happen if, like, the singer can't be on a boat. If you'd have to get a substitute or something.
But I think that can't happen at the Danube, because on the river we don't have any waves and stuff. So
It's not like.
Oh, there's that. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
So it's relatively tranquil. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually glad that we didn't drive, because there was another day where I had my absolute worst hangovers because there was a festival in Linz that we couldn't miss, and I didn't sleep like 2 days or something. And so I felt like a drunk squid.
That's a new one. I have to remember that one. A drunk squid. Yeah.
I love the footage from the Iron River Fest. I mean, whoever took this, I mean, the fans are like right there. Do you prefer that kind of intimate setting, or do you prefer like a bigger arena?
It's actually, it always depends on the people. So when you play in a big arena where, of course, it would be amazing to do, and if the crowd goes with it, then of course. But even a small playground like the Iron River Fest, it really was next to a playground where lots of children were actually, while you had the playground with the children, and then you had the right next to the festival with thousands of drunkards. And it felt like that, like 200 drunk people interacting. It was really funny, but the people are so amazing that it doesn't really matter the size of the location.
That's the thing in the small in the small festivals we got around here or in Czech Republic. I think the interaction with the few people there is like much more intensive than like when we played on the Keep It True, where there are like a few thousand people, thousands of people, and
you still got a lot of the same people that are like the people in Czech, but it's like it feels completely different because there's so many people. It's you have a very big backstage area and all that, so it depends how you are. If you're a band that also wants to party with the people, must decide.
So Hans, I was so surprised to hear that you also do all the artwork and the drawing and the wow. Who is the guy with the laser eyes? Does he have a name or a backstory?
It was actually just I don't know how I actually came up with this. I always felt like I imagined some mascot for the band. Probably this would look good on some albums, and I imagined something with like an iron guy or something. But then I imagined this like a mask closing in on like a imprison the face of a person, like heavy metal, you know, and it captures you, and yeah, makes you shoot light beams out of your eyes. Like, so maybe something a bit original, I don't know. But yeah, the picture, I like the motive of the picture, so I decided to use it on the album as well. And I don't know, I just call him Eisenschädel.
Yep.
Iron Head in English.
Yeah, the artwork is straight out of, I mean, if I flipped it over and saw the Megaforce logo on the back, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you've got that era nailed down, or maybe Under One Flag, something like that. So it's like, there's no way this could not be good. You know, like that's
Oh,
how I
yeah.
feel when I see artwork like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, usually I draw completely, I drew completely different stuff, but like I just love 70s and 80s airbrush art. They always did for the covers, also like
Exactly.
the sci-fi art and the metal covers and all that. And so I just tried to maybe go go in this direction. So yeah, I think on a some degree it works, but on the album cover I work with a lot of scabloons. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
and yeah, it was kind of a mess for me. It was a I think the next one maybe I try different techniques or like they look similar, but it's already on the process.
Very cool.
I really like how I think what makes you guys stand out a little different is the decision to add the bass passages to complement kind of the gallops and the drum kicks. How did you guys figure out kind of that formula? Because it's really, really signature.
I think we have 3 songwriters. Like he writes like most of the stuff. On the album, it was like Leon, the lead guitarist, who wrote the most of the riffs, and drums and bass just did their thing, and like everybody does his own thing, and I, as the second guitarist, tried to add some melodies or something, and yeah, you make them up. Yeah, right.
It's like we got the people that are the main songwriters, and they have the idea, and yeah, the written things they always they are added up, and it always works because every one of us exactly knows how to do it, which kind of music, because we don't listen to much other stuff than heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the key there. That's probably the key, because we it's just like 80s and 70s. It's all the music from back there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. I mean, to have I'm a fan I like really warm bass tone, and to have that against super heavy distorted guitar, it's not always it's easy to get it wrong. And I just think it's very cool that you guys got it right. You know, it's we can't all make a kill 'em all, but you know, I think that you guys have come, you know, very good. And Razor was like that too, very good with it. You could hear the bass, but you had that chainsaw guitar. It's difficult line, so very well done, very well done.
But there's we have to mention Axel from Stallion, who recorded us.
Okay.
And he for the EP he came to our rehearsal room, and then we got into a local studio with him, and he did like he did his thing. We told him how we want it to be, but not exactly. Yeah, should be where we want to go, and he just knows what we want, because he's into the same stuff. And so I think we have to give much credit to Axel too, because he really did a great job on the sound.
So significant that he knew exactly what we wanted. I don't know what would have come out if we had another producer. You know, you never know.
Yeah, the engineering is so important. It's so important. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's at times you guys throw in this element that's almost like speed metal. So I get like the Painkiller, you know, I'm sure you guys get that all the time. but I really like when you throw elements in there. It makes everything kind of your original own sound. So that's really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you come up with the scream in the seventh seal?
Oh my god.
That is like Goosebump City right there.
I don't know. I just had the melody in my head, and it was like I was writing the riffs a bit that I wanted to do, and okay, I just imagine maybe there's a gang shot in it, and
Yeah.
then always the scream between. Yeah, it just came up.
Where does that come from within you?
It takes a good song and makes it into a fantastic song. That scream, just wow.
Yeah, if you just like say, yeah, now I give myself some time to write songs, then nothing comes up. It's just like while you're at work or something, suddenly this melody pops up in your head and you have nothing to record it. And then you spend the whole day like trying to
yeah.
trying to keep the thing in your head. And yeah, it comes up.
Yeah.
It's,
That's
you
awesome.
you have your inspirations
Okay.
and
That's great.
All right, so we play a game if you guys are it's called Really Random Questions. So since there are two of you, we'll have each of you pick 3 numbers, somewhere between 1 and 85.
yeah, 14.
14?
That
But
one
it-
number you say all the time.
But what was the highest number I can choose?
85.
85. Let's take 21, I guess.
All right. Pick 2 more numbers each.
Again?
Nu 20.
42. 42, yeah.
Then
Did you say 7?
And one more.
And 28.
Okay.
okay.
And then 2 more for you.
I take 77 and 72.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
You can do Hans first.
Yeah, let's do Hans first. All right, number 21. What outfit have you worn in the past that you would not wear today?
The stage outfit. Like
Any outfit, anything. Just
any outfit.
Yeah.
Like yeah, my leather outfit.
That was really obvious.
I would never. Okay.
right, but you'd never
I would never
right.
wear again. Yeah, short hair.
That's a very good answer. It's a very good answer.
I love it. All right, let's go on. Number
42.
42. Name a song that brings back great memories for you.
Beast in the Night from Randy.
Oh,
Ooh,
good one.
good one. Yeah.
All right, number 28. Have you ever had a wardrobe malfunction?
A wardrobe malfunction. What exactly do you mean by that?
It means where part of your costume fell off on stage or something like that, or your outfit got in your way
Yeah,
of performing.
my pants ripped like between my legs.
Oh, God.
Was this during a show?
Yeah, it was artificial leather.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's hysterical. Yeah.
That's the bad part about pleather. When it decides to give way, it gives way.
Exactly.
But you can always say that's part of the show.
It was all planned. Yes.
Yeah.
Just rip them off like track pants and stand there in your underwear. They won't know it's not part of the show. All right. Number 14, going over this way. Do you feel substances like alcohol or drugs enhance or hinder the creative process? That's this one.
That's a hard question.
This is for Anton.
I think
I thought it was
What
oh,
Anton,
that's
yeah.
for you.
I think it depends. It's really, I wrote some good I think for me, I think good riffs when I was completely wasted. But
good.
for performance, for the live performance, it's not a thing for me that I can't, maybe a few beers before the concert, okay, but when it comes to drugs or stuff like that, not before the concert. That's like with songwriting the same. If you write a riff completely drunk and then you record it and then you listen to it the next day, and if you realize you're completely off and it sounds like shit.
Exactly. That's funny.
All right, number 37 for Anton. What is your biggest pet peeve that you would make illegal if you could?
What? What's the word?
Something that you really don't like.
Probably, that this beer mixed with lemon juice.
Ooh.
Leinenflügels? Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but yeah, they're like, it's like, beer poisoning.
I get you. Like certain, like we've noticed if you go like we're in Baltimore, but if you go a lot south of here, I ordered a beer one time at a bar and she threw in it cherries and an orange and lime, and I'm like, why is she throwing fruit in my beer?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, we're considered beer snobs. Yeah.
All right, number 72. What do you do when you're bored?
Call some friends and get drunk or smoke something.
That's great. You can't beat that.
But it doesn't happen that many times in the last few years.
You've been keeping pretty busy. Yeah.
So you guys have been super busy.
Yeah.
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 So what's next for you guys? What's on the horizon? Do you have are you working on another album anytime soon, or what's happening?
Pretty now, it's like we're working on a re-release of the EP.
Okay.
But we still have some things for the B side to do because there's only 3 songs and it has always been a split by now. So
Right.
Gonna make 3 more songs for it, and we decided to
Record them ourselves and do it all ourselves without excellence for the studio, and it's a pretty big pain in the ass, but we are finishing it. I hope at the end of this year it should be finished, and can go to the label, and he will press the vinyls. And after that, actually songwriting, I guess.
we some songs for the new album. So it will be most important thing to like really start practicing those songs, and getting us to the new album and to recording as soon as possible.
That's great.
Any plans for a US tour at any point?
Hopefully.
Not yet. We don't have any, because you need some band over there. Or we wanted to make a tour maybe in September with Hound in Europe.
Oh yeah.
And we could,
We still need some a team and some people that like help us
over there
financially, and also with the organization, some bands that like work with us, and then in US too would be amazing.
I can imagine, like we were interviewing a band, Thunder Mother. They recently came over here with the Scorpions and just blew up. So I can imagine that happening to you guys very soon.
If you do the Scorpions, that's.
I mean, like if managers of such big bands, like maybe like listen to some of their stuff and like decide, okay, that could work. I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, a lot of bands I saw right now with bigger bands, I really often didn't know. Okay, because sometimes it didn't really was a completely different type of music.
That was
smelled like it. It was a strange combination. So I don't know how the managers like how they plan all those things.
Yeah.
But hey, if that would be amazing. I mean, I heard that also with Thunder Mother, like it works.
Yeah,
Completely.
Yeah.
I can see that happening for you completely.
I would think you guys would be great for like Gravediggers crowd,
God.
open it up for them, or Razor's still around. I mean, just
Razor would be the sickest.
that would, you'd be a great warm up for their crowd. They might actually be afraid to come out after you. I don't know.
See,
So,
we're trying to lure you over.
yeah. Well, this was great. This is really great. Yeah.
I also saw them in Sweden like a few weeks ago. Amazing.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for the interview. It was great.
We look so
Thank you very
forward
much.
to watching you guys and what comes next. And I also love running to your current music.
The
so,
album's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
great.
Falling on deaf ears.
Okay, Deaf Ears time. We're going to start off with a band from Lyon, France called Animalize. This is what I was thinking of before. 4-piece, 2-guitar lineup. Okay, so the bass player sings. Very reminiscent of Loudness or Enforcer, specifically Diamonds era Enforcer, the album Diamonds. They've been together since 2018. The latest album is their full-length Meet We're Made Of. Look at that lovely album cover. I mean, that's very tasteful.
I liked their the one prior to this, which wasn't Tales from the Crypt. It was Tapes from the Crypt.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we're going to play a song that's French, so Stacy can pronounce it because she took French at school.
This is Sombre de l'Univers.
There you go.
It was worth 4 years of French just to be able to do that.
That's all you got. Okay, Deaf Ears 2, a new trio called Grand from Sweden. Relatively new band. They formed back in 2020 when vocalist Matthias, aren't they all named Matthias? They're all named Matthias. Matthias Olofsson. No, I'm just saying a lot of these Swedish bands. Matthias Olofsson joined forces with guitarist and producer Jakob Svensson and drummer Anton Martinez Mats. It looks like Matthias was kind of a journeyman earlier part of his career, writing songs and drifting in and out of Swedish bands like LA Country Riders and Tequila Sunrise. But this is great stuff. Total Journey meets Starship, kind of majestic AOR.
Yeah, Matthias actually spent 2 decades as a professional musician, always wanting this, and it wasn't until meeting up with the rest of the band that he felt like it was time to do this. They list their influences as Starship, Foreigner, and Mr. Big, so go figure that
Very
one out.
apt, very apt. And the song we're going to play is not Sweet Caroline. It is not Cheap Trick's Oh Caroline. It is not Concrete Blonde's Caroline. It is called Caroline.
Check it out. So I would like to introduce this Deaf Ears 3 since I found it.
You did.
This is one of those, when I run, go out for a jog, I always kind of put on, just if you ask Spotify, give me new stuff, it'll just throw stuff at you. And this one came on. Yeah, there's been a lot that I fast forwarded through. This one came on and it caught my attention almost immediately. It had a great beat. It had funny lyrics. It was musically sound. And as soon as we got back, I'm like, you have to listen to this, Mark. So this is, if you weren't already sold, the name of the band is Walter Sickert and the Army of Broken Toys.
Yes.
This is their latest album, Permanent Fire, which we've been both wrapping ourselves up in.
Yeah.
It's got some alt rock, some cabaret rock, some grungy, rainy grunge singer songwriter stuff.
Yeah, like 1 minute I feel like I'm listening to Tom Waits, and then it's Eddie Vedder, and then it's Sparks. So here's some. Check out some of this footage behind me of the new single. The video for the new single is Goth Beach. I mean, just look at this wackiness of them performing on the goth beach.
Yeah, they were kind of listed as a Dada-esque circus carnival run amok. Just plain and not always so clean fun. But you
Yeah,
gotta
They
love
got like 6 or 7 albums. I mean, they've been around for a while.
it's crazy. They but you gotta love when you have listed as you have Walter does vocals, guitar, and piano. Merry Widow, vocals, mandolin, and glockenspiel. Not every band can say that.
Yeah.
They have Rachel Jason on viola, Mike Leggio on bass.
There's like 600 people in this band. Yeah. This
Bass.
is like
I always say bass. Mike Leggio
This is
on
like-
bass.
Santana in '68. Yeah.
Matt Zappa, we don't think there's any relation. On percussion, Brother Bones on guitar, Jojo Lazar on flute and ukulele.
Yep.
And then they have Edry on vocals, accordion, and I don't know how he plays them, but broken toys.
Got a black magic woman. Yeah, check out the video for sure. We'll play the song for you. This is Goth Beach. We've nearly come to the end, it would seem.
Dun, 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 dun. Our spell is ending
Yes.
for this week.
Well, we've covered much ground this week. Yes. We've talked about door closers, TV lever honors.
We've talked about monitor cables
Please, it's too soon.
and
Yeah,
return policies.
yes. We've talked about return policies. Yes. We've talked about my phone virus and how they're going to kidnap Jax if I don't do something about it.
Where Jax? We've talked about classic movie photos and tits and champagne.
Yes. That's a great picture. Yeah.
Also, don't forget, get over to Spotify. Check out our show, which includes every song that we talked about. Also, get over to Spotify and give these artists a like. We spend a lot of time researching it for you, giving you the best. All you got to do is go enjoy.
This has been the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast. Special thanks to Venator for appearing on the show. At least we hope. Snaggletooth theme, courtesy of Jens Kemgren of the Firebombs, Social Cavalry, and Ask Jens fame. Deaf Ears theme, courtesy of Tim Green of the Fucking Champs. Deaf Ears bands, check them out. Animalize, Grand, Walter Sickert and the Army of Broken Toys. All content 2022, Snaggletooth.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.